Explore the mystical side of life in a multi-dimensional way. Welcome to Integrative Mystic with Anne Vivian.
Hello, welcome to Integrative Mystic. My name is Anne Vivian. Thank you so much for going on this mystical journey with me today. This is the podcast where we explore spirituality and self-development in an integrative mind, body, spirit, multi-dimensional way. I'm excited about today's show. We're going to continue our exploration of scripting, a manifestation law of attraction technique. And last show we explored psychological neuroscience perspectives on scripting. Today we're going to explore metaphysical and creative perspectives, as well as some fun techniques to try with scripting. I'm then going to tune into the energy for the week ahead, pull some cards, and share the spirit helper message of the week. There were actually two spirit helpers who visited me to bestow messages for this week, so I can't wait to share them. Just an FYI, there's not going to be a podcast for the next 2 weeks because July 4th and vacation, and Anne will not be available for podcasting during that time, but I will miss you and I can't wait to return after that. So just so you know, no podcast for the next couple weeks. Check out mindbodyspirit.fm where you can find my podcast. Check out other awesome spiritual podcasters there. You can also find me on iTunes, Google, Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd like to welcome you in. I'm opening the curtain. I'm going to have you open the curtain and step into that mystical space. Let's step into the theater of the spirit. Take a deep breath, leaving your fears and worries behind the curtain as we step into this mystical theater of magic and spirit and divinity, where we're remembering our oneness and connection with our Creator. So welcome. What is scripting? Well, if you didn't listen to the last podcast, let me just let you know or refresh your memory. Scripting is a manifestation technique in which you write down what you would like to have or create or experience, what you would like to manifest, as if it has already manifested. And you write in detail what your experience is as you experience what it is you've already manifested. We talked a little bit about psychological approaches last time. We talked about neuroscience approaches to writing down your goals and dreams. And there is, of course, a difference just between just writing down your goals and scripting, which is actually describing what it would be like to experience your manifestation. So the difference between I would like to earn a PhD versus I feel so excited now that I've earned my PhD and here I am teaching as a professor. So it's a different way of writing down your goals. It's a very specific technique. We talked about just goals and writing down goals because I think they're very, very closely related. Last podcast, we talked about psychological and neuroscience approaches. So even just writing down your goals, even if you don't use scripting, that is still a very powerful technique. So, I want to encourage you, write down your goals, write down what you want to create. It is powerful on all these levels. We're exploring all these different levels that are involved, but suffice to say, writing down your goals is very powerful and helps you to manifest what you want to manifest. Today, let's explore some fun metaphysical and creative perspectives to scripting. So, of course, scripting is using the law of attraction. like attracts like. So you're writing down what you want and you're creating that psychological, sensory, emotional experience for yourself. So that creates a certain vibration. And according to the law of attraction, a similar vibration is attracted to you, creating situations and circumstances and momentum in your outer world towards that desire. There's also the law of vibration, which the Kabbalion Hermetic text talks about. It's another universal law. Everything has a vibration. And I think that is an important aspect of what's happening here with scripting. Words have vibrations unto themselves. The actual letters, the numerology behind the letters, the actual words have a vibration unto themselves, in my opinion. And you can feel the vibration when you psychically tune into a word. The vibration also has an effect on our own psyche. And this is part of, in my opinion, another reason scripting is effective, because the words are anchoring in our psyche a certain vibration, which is activating that law of attraction, and that vibration is attracting a similar vibration from our psyche, from our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is really important in manifestation. We often think about what we're consciously thinking about, but we have this unconscious aspect to our psyche. And as we feed our subconscious in various ways and program it in various ways, it's working with the other dimensions, the collective unconscious. Jung might say the doorway. There's a doorway in our subconscious mind to other dimensions, in my opinion, and training. And so working with a technique like scripting is helping you work with your subconscious mind. When you do something physical and visual, like actually taking a moment, a special moment in time, and writing out what it is you want to create in your life as if it has already happened, that is a ritual. It involves something physical, writing. You have something, an object that you've created after that, the piece of writing, and you're focusing your mind and imagining what you want during that ritual. So these components activate our subconscious mind, and that's really powerful. It's a really powerful part metaphysically when it comes to manifesting. Our subconscious mind has a very powerful vibration, and sometimes we're not aware of what vibration, what beliefs we are emitting. So this is an approach to help program your subconscious mind to think and believe and resonate and vibrate in the way that you want. The power of your emotions. I think that one of the really powerful psychological components to scripting is it helps to invoke some emotions that can put in momentum, motivation, and can help you psychologically feel more motivated, more positive affect and emotions towards taking action and creating what you want, your goal. Metaphysically, your emotions are very powerful in activating your subconscious mind. They are very powerful vibrations. And so you activating your emotions as you're describing and imagining what it is you want to create is activating these powerful components to metaphysical manifestation. This technique, scripting, can also help you to clarify what you really want. And it cuts through some of the distractions of imagining. In creative visualization, you simply visualize what you want to create, to manifest, right? Some people find this very difficult because they're too distracted and they don't have enough structure or grounding. They need more structure and grounding when focusing on what they want to create or achieve. Scripting is helpful because it's very clarifying. If you're forced to actually write sentences, then you have more of a structure and a linear kind of structure to help you really clarify what you want. And it can help you actually clarify what you need to change in order to manifest it. Once you've written it down, or as you're writing it down, it might occur to you. And this can happen too with creative visualization, another manifestation technique, but it can be even more powerful once you write it down or during the scripting ritual, for you to become aware of what it is you need to change in order to manifest this. And that's really important in the goal achievement manifestation process. You need to be able to really resonate on the level, vibrate on the level of your dream, vision, or goal. And as you realize, I'm going to need to make some changes in order to create this, you can begin to work on that vibration, work on those beliefs, and take actions in your life to change that, and prepare yourself mentally for what that change might mean. It can also help you face your fears related to this desire. Writing it down kind of helps you confront what this manifestation would mean for you. If there's a fear of success, or a fear of failure, a fear you might hurt someone, or you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, or something bad would happen if I actually created this thing into my life. Well, those are all little blocks to you manifesting this. And these are what I'm talking about, the subconscious mind. You might not even be aware that you have this unconscious block, and maybe it's conscious, maybe you know that it's there, until you confront it. And scripting is a great way to help you kind of clean out, wow, this is, and maybe you script and you realize, wow, I don't really have blocks. I'm very much in harmony with this, and I feel like it's almost here. But maybe you realize, wow, I have some, fears come up, some mental blocks, some questions, some worries. And that's a great direction to go to confront, heal, process, reprogram those unconscious fears and unhelpful beliefs. There's a lower level of manifestation and a higher level. There's different levels of going about creating that which you want to create. I'd like to give the example of stealing as a very low level of goal achievement and manifestation. You might get what you want on the surface if you steal or lie or manipulate to get what you want. However, and this can be complex sometimes it's not black and white, and you need something, or it's life or death or a crisis, and you have to do what you need to do to survive. And life is complex. Sometimes it's not appropriate to say the whole truth. But if you're using, in general, lying or stealing or manipulation in order to achieve what you want to achieve, that is creating a certain vibration now, isn't it? It's creating a certain vibration in your consciousness, in your psyche, in your aura. And if you lie, you're putting that out into your vibration. You might attract people who lie to you or who are not authentic. You're going to maybe attract a vibration that has that blip in it. It has a distortion in it, right? And that might come back to you. That's the law of cause and effect. What you put out is coming back to you. There's consequences for your actions and for your thoughts and the vibration that you're putting out. You also might be likely to feel guilty, shame or guilt for using that technique to get what you want. And that is putting that vibration out into your psyche and your aura. So you don't want to put that vibration out because you don't want to attract something that's on that level, and you don't want to create that dynamic. That's creating a problematic flow of manifestation, and where you're putting out something you really don't want back in that way. And also, you don't want the repercussions of the guilt, and some might say karma. You don't want to create using those lower levels of manifestation. So slightly higher than that is working really, really, really hard and doing everything yourself, not calling on any help, that can be powerful. You can manifest that way. You can get things done. However, it's not a very efficient use of energy compared to higher levels of manifestation where you are using more intention setting, writing down your goals, asking for support, delegating. It's a higher level, and even a higher level than that, which is, in my opinion, a much more efficient way to manifest. And I confess, I have not always used the highest way to manifest. I've, sometimes overworked myself and forgotten to call on my higher power. But at this higher level of manifestation, you're calling on higher consciousness. You're calling on God, Goddess, Spirit, your guides. You're calling on expanded consciousness. You're asking for help maybe from the human realm, but also from the expanded realms in your own higher self. You're using metaphysical principles like the law of attraction. You're using techniques to not only clarify your intention, but do that in a way that's tapping into your higher power, the metaphysical principles, and creating that circuit. So what I'm talking about today is a higher level of manifestation, and you can combine any kinds of approaches to manifesting. Of course, at some point, you're probably going to want to take action, but I want to make sure and clarify the higher levels of manifestation approaches, the more sophisticated ones, don't involve a lack of action, or in other words, they do involve action, but the action is part of a holistic, integrated approach involving spirit, involving your psyche, involving your will, your intellect, and the earthly material plane and action. So I just wanted to kind of offer that as a piece of kind of the context to scripting. There's also some creative approaches, thinking about your life as a play. I was using that metaphor in the beginning when I was inviting you into the theater of spirit, thinking about your life as a canvas or your life as a play, as a beautiful piece of art, as a novel, and thinking about what story, what play, what novel do I want to compose here, and how do I want to craft my life with words and with my own creative will. Creative word choice crafting. You can actually do scripting with poetry if you like, or prose. Writing it down in detail with poems. That's a popular like folk magic tradition. Writing little rhymes for spells and such. And you might argue, in organized religion, there's a lot of poetry in the liturgy of different organized religions and the myths that are passed down. Add a picture or painting, create a picture, draw a picture, paint a painting to go along with your scripting. This is also, as we do these things, it's stimulating your creativity, more of your right brain, more of the corpus callosum that integrates the hemispheres. It's stimulating your playful inner child. And this can be really helpful, when it comes to integrating the yin and yang parts of your psyche, the logical and intuitive, creative parts of your consciousness. And it can also help you, as you're being creative and having fun with it, it can help you open yourself to the receptive mode. So the receptive mode, something Abraham Hicks talks about, is so important in the manifestation technique, that you're not clinging and controlling. That's a lower level of manifestation where you're trying to control everything. Higher level of manifestation approach is you do use your will, you do take action, you do take responsibility and are decisive, but you're also surrendering to spirit and you're allowing spirit to guide you. You're using your intuition, your faith, your creativity, and you're being receptive to those other parts of consciousness that are not logical and not something you can see. And this helps you to work with this multidimensional consciousness. So someone asked, in my last multidimensional manifesting circle that was in person. And should I write down the description of what I want to create, what I'm imagining here? Should I write it down in detail or should I leave it pretty open? So traditionally, according to my research and scripting, you're encouraged to be very detailed. However, you know what? I always say it's your life, break the rules if it feels right. And I think only you can answer this. The benefit of writing down something in detail is it might help you to get more clarified results when you're manifesting it. It might also help you to get deeper into the imagination of what you want to create, and therefore you're more emotionally involved, therefore you have a stronger vibration. However, if you're doing your scripting and you're leaving it more open, instead of saying a PhD in neuroscience, maybe instead of I am so excited to have my PhD in neuroscience, maybe I'm so excited to have higher education that is truly helpful and meaningful to me. So if you write something less specific, I think it still works. And the good thing about leaving it more open is you're leaving it more open to spirit. Maybe spirit has an idea for something that's even better for you to manifest, if you're not as specific. So I think, it's really up to you what feels right to you. I like leaving things somewhat open. I like adding at the end, or better, in accordance with divine will, so that I'm, in ways that harm none. This comes to pass in ways that harm none, or better, this comes to pass in or better, and in ways in accordance with divine will. So I'm leaving it open for spirit to be a part of this process. And sometimes I like to be specific. Sometimes I like to leave it open. I really just trust my intuition, what feels right in the moment. And sometimes I don't know exactly. I just have an idea of what I want to create. So I leave it pretty open. But sometimes it does feel right for me to be very specific, and I will. Remember that you're already using the law of attraction. You're already manifesting with your thoughts. And the general vibration that you're emitting is creating experiences in your life. Not every little thought you have is going to manifest automatically, of course. This is a trick to more consciously and deliberately use this universal law to manifest. Edwene Gaines, who was a Unity minister, she's an amazing author. I think she said this: most things that you pray into your life, you can just pray out of it. So don't get too attached to trying to create the perfect thing. Another question is, so letting go of some of that perfectionism. If you manifest something not perfect, well, that was draft 1, and we're going to go ahead and move on to draft 2. Let's try this again. So another question that's often asked with scripting is, should I do this kind of like once or every now and then, or just on a special occasion, like, just my birthday or New Year's? Or should I do this pretty continually? Again, I think only you can answer that question. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. If you script kind of just once or twice a year, or only on special occasions, and put a lot of energy into it and then let it go, the nice thing is you can really let it go, and you're getting into the receptive mode. You're allowing the universe to engage in that process with you by not kind of messing with your intention and adding more negative or contrary thoughts to your goal, your vision, your dream. The trick is you don't think about it. Once you write it down, try and really let it go, or just make sure you only think, you're only really building mentally thought patterns that are in accordance with that. If you script continuously, every day or several times a week or month, I think that can help you stay connected in a more conscious way with your goal, with your desire. The trick is which can be really powerful. And, you're continually reprogramming that in your mind. I think the trick is with that, not to get too tightly controlled and bound up with it. That's one of the tricks with using this law of attraction is you can't tighten up and block up those channels for the universal energy to move by over controlling, by having a controlling, or I don't know what other words to use. Do you know what I'm talking about, my friend? If you're thinking about something and there's just too much pressure, like I need this, I guess that's what I want to say. The trick is, if you write continuously, if you script continuously, make sure that you avoid getting into a need to or a controlling or must have in order to make up for something that I lack kind of mentality. So sometimes when we script continuously, it can sort of activate that. So we want to make sure that we're scripting in a light, in a loose way, we have faith. We're in that state of believing and having, and we're open and we're allowing our higher power and our intuition the space to bring this to us and to be open to guidance here. So it's really finding that sweet spot between the two. You want to be focused, you want to use your will, evoke those emotions and emit that vibration, but also to be light, to be faithful, to be open, to surrender, to allow the energy to flow and give that to the universe, which the universe needs in order to bring it back to you. I want to suggest, if you want to try scripting, first, script about what's gone well in your life. What have you already manifested that's working for you? And this can help you generate a feeling of abundance, so you're not feeling that lack, or you're not feeling that desperation. Maybe we sometimes feel. You're feeling confident. You're feeling, wait a minute, I've manifested some pretty wonderful things in my life. And so once you're feeling that feeling of abundance and gratitude, it's easier to slip right into, what else do I want to continue this momentum with in my life of creating? I also want to suggest, as part of a scripting experiment that you do, ask your higher power, ask God, Spirit, in prayer, meditation, or contemplation, what it is best for you to focus on manifesting at this time. This can help you to clarify your intention with your heart, with your higher self, what it is that you want to focus on, so that you are more fulfilled by your manifestation, rather than maybe focusing on something of the lower ego, or a part of you that is maybe influenced by others and what I maybe think I should create, but what's not really what I want. So, and it's okay if you do create from that place. You will create it and realize, oh, this isn't really what I want. And that's okay. And even if you're creating from, your higher consciousness, and you create something that isn't fulfilling long-term, maybe you needed to create that before you manifest the next thing that you really want to experience or have long-term. But it's part of a process. So be open here and call in. I suggest, my friend, call in your higher power, call in your intuition, spirit, guides, God, goddess, and work with this collective, work with your dream team to manifest here. When you do clarify, when you have clarified what you want to create, remember to write in detail, or more loosely, what you would like to manifest as if it has already manifested in the present tense. Be sure to include feelings and try to generate the feeling as you write it and read it back. You can also combine scripting with other manifestation techniques, such as crystals. Maybe you want to hold a special crystal that you've charged every time that you write in your special scripting journal, and you build up energy in a relationship with that crystal consciousness. And the crystal is also helping in the manifestation process. There are certain crystals that are associated with manifestation: citrine, pyrite. There's a bunch. Apatite, I think, is associated with visualization and manifestation. Use the crystal you're drawn to, is my advice, though. Don't just look it up in a book. Use the crystal you're drawn to. There might be some reason that you're intuitively drawn to it that helps with your particular manifestation journey and energy and uniqueness. You can also combine this by working with the cycles of the moon. Maybe you want to script on the new moon or the full moon. Those are both very powerful times of working with lunar energy or earth energy or other planetary energy, other ritual elements, candles or visualization or music or movement. Like I was suggesting, creating a picture, that's also, could be a ritual element. So incense, there's so many ritual elements, I can't name them all, but if you like to combine it, you're magnifying the power. I suggest try it. If it feels right to you, do what feels right to you. I'd love to hear from you if you try this, what your results are. Leave a message, drop a line on my Facebook page, Creative Psyche Studio. Psyche is spelled Psyche. Shoot me an email. I'd love to hear. creativepsychestudio@gmail.com. But have fun with scripting. Think of this as an experiment. Think of this as a fun exercise your inner child can try, as well as different parts of your consciousness and psyche. But I want to encourage you to don't get too heavy and serious with it. Combine that will and your intention with thoughtfulness, of course, with that fun inner child that can just write down what she wants and believe in the magic of the universe to manifest it, who can, make a wish on the dandelion and blow the seeds away. That kind of energy, I want to encourage you, combine that in your scripting experiments with that more focused energy and watch what happens. It's pretty powerful. So I'm excited to share that with you. And we are now going to switch gears, and I'm going to share with you the spirit helper of the week. This week, there were two spirit helpers who visited me: Owl, spirit animal, and Pele, Hawaiian volcano goddess. Let's start with the Owl, spirit animal. So this is the spirit helper messages for the week of June 24th, 2022, or whenever you're listening to this podcast. Owl, spirit animal, is associated with intuition, spirit visitation, wisdom, knowledge, secret mystical wisdom and magic, and feminine power, associated with the moon. This makes sense that Owl would visit me in the meditation today to offer one of the spirit messages for the week, as the sun has moved into Cancer, which is the time of the feminine and the moon and intuition. So here's the message from Owl, spirit animal: a rebirth into the unknown. Strangers are not foes. If you can see beyond the surface to their true nature and identify those who are in fact your friends, take a moment to bend the light in your eyes, to understand the darkness and the light. See past the shadows to the true nature of a person and your own being. Understand there is wisdom in silence, and truth comes out when you are able to listen and understand that which is not so easily heard. Allow your intuition to take flight and steer the direction of your life. Pour your heart out into what matters and leave the rest behind. You have understanding and deep awareness that moves through your being and can be accessed at night simply by remembering to call upon this awareness. Break tradition and see the truth, even as it may be uncomfortable. This is always valuable to you when you allow your heart to take the lead. Thank you, Owl, spirit animal. And I am inspired to remember to connect with my intuition even more strongly at this time of year, and to pay attention to that still small voice. It informs everything in my life. It informs scripting and my manifestation, decisions I make. And it's refreshing to be reminded that this is our secret magical weapon in life. I hate to say weapon. This is our secret magical tool to lead a more magical, fulfilling life. We can be guided by our sixth sense. Another spirit message wants to be heard this week, and Pele, the Hawaiian volcano goddess, visited me. She's associated with the creative and destructive powers of volcanoes and lava. And this is a higher consciousness being goddess associated with the Hawaiian spiritual tradition. She's also actually associated with goal setting. So here's a message she channeled through me earlier before this recording, and this is for the week ahead. It's easier to take control of something before it explodes. Align your heart with the highest intention and speak in ways that truly express your passion and also compassion. Use the fire within you to break free and ascend to new levels of being. You can put forward in a fiery substance of truth, wisdom, and bravery without causing distress. I'm going to read that sentence again. Use the fire within you to break free and ascend to new levels of being. You can put forward a fiery substance of truth, wisdom, and bravery without causing distress. Allow your true nature to express in ways that align with this intention for a higher truth and peace to be created. And this allows you to express that which is truly authentic without hurting those around you. The lava is both destructive and beautiful and creates change that benefits the planet, but it can also destroy that which will be missed. Learn to harmonize with the forces within you and around you. Control the reins of this beast by allowing it to express and form in ways in accordance with your will. Do not try to overly control your inner fire in a harsh or rigid way, but allow this force to express in accordance with your will, aligning with this higher dimension of truth and majesty. This is the realm of the creator of soul. Oh, that was so beautiful. And it reminds me of using our words with intention, of expressing ourselves in a way that allows what's inside to come out into our life, out into the world, but in doing that in a way with integrity where we're not hurting others, and calling upon our will, but also calling upon our higher power to know how best to express this. And this can prevent explosions of anger and frustration when we find a way to express what's on our hearts in a compassionate, empathic way, respectful way before we're at our wits' end. You know, Pele is also reminding me we just had the summer solstice up here in the northern hemisphere, and it's a time of the sun. It's a time of fire, and so working with that fire energy and knowing it can be beautiful but also destructive, it can create but also destroy, and working with that energy. You're probably hearing me shuffle some cards. I am pulling a few cards for the week ahead to give us some guidance for the week ahead. What does my audience need to know? What do me and my audience need to know? Ooh, we got the 10 of Pentacles who fell out for the week ahead. June 24th, 2022. Tuning into the energy for the week ahead and guidance. Oh, and the Empress. Interesting. And then we've got Judgment. So King of Pentacles and the Empress. I feel like this week it feels like there is an emphasis on work. I feel like there might be an emphasis on responsibility, actually. Thinking about what other people want from us and the needs of others. That King of Pentacles, practical energy. We might be very practical as the end of the week comes here, Friday, Saturday. And I feel like it's a very earthy energy, the Empress. I feel like there's a focus on taking care of our body, and I feel like there's an emphasis on nurturing ourselves, nurturing others. So I feel like working with the energy in the beginning of the week, it's good to be practical, put down your thoughts, and create some plans. It might be very helpful to do that at the end of the week and this weekend, and to remember to physically nurture yourself and physically give yourself time to relax. You might be in a position of being motherly or nurturing to someone else. But I feel like, there's also this energy of setting our sights higher and allowing ourselves to dream big at this weekend. There might be, inspirations, and you're aware of more goals and visions and dreams you have. So let yourself dream big and enjoy what you've already created as well. The card that is coming out to me for guidance is the Judgment card. So I feel like, and I'm drawn to pull another Starseed Oracle card here in addition to these tarot cards. So I feel like with the Judgment card for this week ahead, I feel like this is a week of clarity and clarifying what you want and reflecting about what you really want to create. We've got, and here we go, weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I feel like that's emphasizing what I was tuning in before with that Friday, Saturday energy, especially, but maybe just this week in general. Feeling responsibilities, feeling other people's expectations, and maybe what I feel like I'm responsible to others. So this card is remembering us to set boundaries and release what's not yours to carry. Let it go. If it's not an expectation that's good for you, it's not a responsibility that's appropriate for you to take, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, let it go and let God. We've also got Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life is another Starseed Oracle card. So I feel like this, and kind of goes with that Judgment card theme. I feel like we're going to get some clarity this week. There's opportunities to get more clarity and decisiveness about what we want to create, and letting go of what's no longer serving us. We have the opportunity this week. And as we let go, that can help us to have more space to bring into our lives what we need in order to manifest what we want and experience what we want. I've got deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. There's a big emphasis on our physical body this week. There's emphasis on healing. I feel like the message here is to run with the wolves and allow yourself to be a little wild this week. Allow yourself to just shift out of your logical mind and allow yourself time this week, even though maybe at the beginning of the week, I do feel like it's really helpful to clarify some plans and ideas, but also shift into that nature consciousness, your instinctual consciousness, and allow some healing to happen as you shift into that intuitive, emotional, more instinctual place of your body, of your mind, of your emotions. And one of the ways to do that is being out in nature, is moving your body. And I think this can help us get more clarity about what we need to let go and what will be helpful for us to heal and to grow. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friends. That was the collective energy and messages for the week ahead. I hope you have fun with scripting. I hope you have fun with this beautiful moon energy of Owl and the Cancer sun time that we're in, and the volcanic fire summer solstice energy that we're still working with. And I hope you have a beautiful couple of weeks. I won't be putting out a podcast for a couple of weeks, but I look forward to reconnecting with you later in July. Have a beautiful few weeks, and I will connect with you next group or session or podcast. Take care.